Hello everyone. This is the third video on the chapter project management. In this video, we are going to study the second project management technique whose name is project evaluation and review technique. It is abbreviated as PERT. Now in this video, we are going to see what are the three time estimates which are used in the PERT. Then we will see how the expected duration of completion of the project is calculated, and we will also see how to calculate the probability of completing the project in a given time period. So let us start. In critical path method, we have assumed deterministic estimates of time duration for the various activities in a project. But in actual practice, the activity durations may be probabilistic. So friends, in our day-to-day life, we see that the time duration for the completing of the activity as well as completing the project, it is not fixed. One cannot say that the particular activity will be completed in 10 days only. That means there may be no any chances that the project or that activity will be completed either in 11 days or in 9 days. So this cannot be happened in our day-to-day life or in the real world. There may be chances of completing the activity before 10 days, or there may be chances of lagging the activity beyond 10 days. So whatever the time estimate we have considered in the critical path method, generally that time estimate is not realistic in the actual practice. So that's why in the PERT, instead of using the deterministic time estimate, probabilistic time estimates and three probabilistic time estimates are used. So in PERT, probabilistic time estimates for the duration of activities are considered. Now that three probabilistic time estimates are optimistic time, pessimistic time, and most likely time. Now let us see all these three time estimates. What is meant by optimistic time? It is a time estimate if the execution goes extremely good. For example, the general time estimate or the normal time estimate of the activity, it is calculated as the 10 days, but if everything goes extremely good, there may be chances of completing the activity before 10 days. It may complete either in 8 days or 9 days. So that time estimate in which everything goes very good or in a very well manner, by which the activity will be completed before the calculated time estimate, that time estimate it is called optimistic time. The second one is pessimistic time. It is a time estimate if execution goes very badly. So nothing happened as per the calculations or as per the planning. During that, there may be chances of completing the activity beyond 10 days. It may be completed in 11, 12 or beyond that days also. So that time estimate it is called pessimistic time. And third one is most likely time. Most likely time, it is a time estimate if execution is a normal. So by normally, if the execution, if it is there at that time, the activity will be completed in the calculated time estimate. So that time estimate it is called most likely time. The probabilistic data for the project activities generally follow beta distribution. So in the PERT, whatever the probabilistic time estimates are there, that time estimates follow the beta distribution curve. So this is the frequency distribution curve, or it is also called beta distribution curve for the PERT. The curve may be symmetric, it may be skewed to the left, or it may be skewed to the right. This A, it represents optimistic time, M represents most likely time, and B represent pessimistic time. The symmetric curve means this most likely time, it is symmetrically situated in consideration with optimistic time and pessimistic time. So it is exactly at the middle of these two time estimates. Most likely time, it may be skewed towards the optimistic time. So that is called, it is skewed to the left, or the most likely time, it may be shifted towards the pessimistic time. So that is, it is skewed to the right. Now, in the probability distribution, where the beta distribution it is following, the calculations of these terms are generally done. The formula for mean, standard deviation and variance of the beta distribution are mu, that is mean, it is equal to optimistic time plus pessimistic time plus 4 times most likely time divided by 6. Standard deviation, that is sigma, is equal to pessimistic time minus optimistic time divided by 6, and variance, which is equal to square of standard deviation, is equal to square of pessimistic time minus optimistic time divided by 6. The expected time or average time of an activity is equal to mean of a beta distribution, and hence the expected time, it is equal to the mean of this beta distribution, that is a plus 4m plus b upon 6. Now probability of completing the project in x days, how it is calculated? So it is calculated by first calculating the normal deviate of the beta distribution. So normal deviate z equal to x minus mu upon sigma, where this x, it is the actual project completion time, mu expected project completion time, that is the sum of expected durations of the critical activities. What is meant by critical activity? That we have seen in the videos which was made based upon the critical path method. So here we have seen that the critical activities, these are the activities which are on the critical path. So that means the activities which must be completed in the given or in the calculated time estimate. So that activities are called critical activities. Sigma, it is the standard deviation of the expected project completion time, and after calculation of this normal deviate, how the probability of completing the project in x days is calculated. So it is calculated by this formula 0.5 plus or minus value of z from standard normal distribution curve. Now when to take this plus and minus? So it is completely depending on how the value of z it is coming. If the value of z coming positive, then we will take here plus sign. If it is coming minus or negative, then we will take negative. So 0.5 plus or minus value of z from standard normal distribution table. So this is the table showing standard normal distribution. This table we are going to use to find out the values of z. For example, the value of x minus mu upon 6, it is coming say 3 point or say 1.47. So how to see the value or how to calculate the value of z with the help of this table for 1.47? So here this is 1.4, this we will consider, and in this particular row we will go towards the right. So now how we will go towards right, or by what distance we will go towards right? So this is 1.4. Now here 0.00, 0.01, 0.02, these are the values. Now we need 0.07, so that whatever the value of x minus mu upon sigma it is calculated, or it is coming 1.47, that value can be made here. So it is 1.4 and this is 0.7, so that means 1.47. so the value we will get 0.4292. So once this value it is coming, that value we will add into 0.5. So that means 0.5 plus 0.4292, that will be equal to 0.9292. So that means probability of completing the project in x days is equal to 92.92%. So in that way, the probability of completing the project in the given time period, it is calculated. Later in this video we are going to elaborate in a more proper manner by taking the example. So now let us take one example on the PERT. Table shows the details of activity of a project. So A, B, C, D up to K activities are given in this table. Along with these activities, predecessor activities are also given, and for each activity the 3 time estimates: optimistic time, most likely time, and pessimistic time in weeks are given here. Now what data we have to calculate here? Construct the project network, find the expected duration and variance of each activity, find the critical path and the expected project completion time, what is the probability of completing project on or before 25 weeks, and if the probability of completing the project is 0.84, find the expected project completion time. So now let us calculate each parameter one by one. First we will construct the project network with the help of this table. So the construction of a project network, it is same as that of we have calculated in the CPM. So we will consider the present activity, we will consider the predecessor activity of that particular activity, and in consideration with these two simultaneously we will create the network. So network construction, node 1. Now from node 1 the activities, to them the predecessor activities are not, so that activity we will originate from this node 1. So which are the activities can be originated from node 1? Activity A, just we will concentrate here, and by concentrating here we will construct this. So for activity A, no predecessor activity, so it is originated from node 1. Similarly activity B and activity C can be originated from node 1. Then activity D, the predecessor activity is A, so this is activity D. Activity E, 2 predecessor activities are there, A and B. So this is activity E. Now what we have done here, the activity E, it is started, or it can be started only after completion of activity A and B. Now if I directly join the activity A to the node 3, this is the violation of the rule which we have seen in the previous video during the rules of network construction. So activity A and B are originating from same node, common node, and they are ending on the common node also. So if such thing will be there, it is the violation. So in order to avoid that, the dummy activity which is not consuming any kind of resource, this activity it is used. So activity A, it is represented in between node 1 and 2, and activity B, it is represented in between node 1 and 3, and for the node 2 and 3, or in between node 2 and 3, the dummy activity it is joining these two nodes. So in that way we can say that activity E, it is started only after the completion of activity A and B. Then activity F, the predecessor activity is C. So this is activity F. For activity G, predecessor activity is C, activity G. Then activity H, two activities needs to be completed first, E and F. So activity H. Then activity I, predecessor activities are E and F. So activity I. Activity J, predecessor activities are D and H. So this is activity J. And activity K, predecessor activities are J, I and G. So this is activity K. So on the node 8, all the activities have ended. So that means at node 8 the project is completed. So this is the network construction for the given activities. Now let us calculate the expected duration and variance of each activity. So expected duration, how it is calculated? It is calculated by simply calculating the mean of that 3 time estimates. So that means mean, it is calculated by the formula mu equal to A plus 4m plus B upon 6. So for the activity A, the mean is A, it is equal to 6 plus m, 4 times m, so that means 4 into 7 plus 8b divided by 6, which is equal to 7. Variance, it is calculated by the formula b minus a upon 6 bracket square. So 8 minus 6 upon 6 bracket square, which is equal to 0.11. So in this way, the expected duration of each activities, it is calculated, as well as the variance, it is also calculated. Now let us determine the critical path and expected project completion time. So first, critical path we will determine, and with the help of critical path we will determine the expected project completion time. So on this network diagram, these mean or expected time duration which we have calculated in the previous slide, that have been written in front of the name of the activity. So now here, in order to determine the critical path, we will calculate the earliest start time and the latest completion time in the same way as that we have calculated in the critical path method. So here, these colored boxes are representing earliest start time, and these colored boxes are representing latest completion time. So here directly I am calculating the earliest start time and latest completion time in order to study how these time estimates or earliest start time and latest completion time is calculated. To understand that, Please see the video associated with critical path method. So here I am directly calculating the earliest start time and latest completion time by the forward pass and backward pass respectively. So now let us determine the critical path, the path where the earliest start time and latest completion times are same. So 0 0 7 7, then this 7 7, then this 10 10, then this 14 14, and then 20 20. So this is the critical path 1 2 3 5 6 8. So which are the critical activities then? Activity A, dummy activity. It cannot be said as a critical activity because it is not consuming any kind of resources, as well as it is not consuming the duration also. So activity A, E, H and J. So critical path is activity A, dummy activity also it is written, but it is not consuming any kind of resource. Activity E, H and J. And the project completion time is 7 plus 0 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6, which is equal to 20 weeks. So project completion time is 20 weeks. Now we will calculate what is the probability of completing the project on or before 25 weeks. So critical path, which we have calculated in the previous slide, it is 20 weeks. Now how to calculate the probability of completing project on or before 25 weeks? So here we will calculate the sum of variance of all the activities on the critical path. So sum of variance of all the activities on the critical path, it is equal to 5.89 weeks, and after calculation of this sum of variance path on the critical activities, we will calculate the standard deviation for all the critical activities. So which is equal to square root of this variance, which is equal to 2.43. So after that we will calculate the normal deviate Z, which is equal to x minus mu upon sigma. X, it is the probability by which the project is completed in 25 weeks. So this 25, it is nothing but the x. So 25 minus mu, it is the mean time of completion of the project. What is mean time? So mean time, it is calculated with the help of critical path, that is this 20. So 20 is the mean time. So 25 minus 20 upon sigma, it is calculated with the help of the critical activities, adding or the summation of critical activities, that is 2.43. So after calculation of this, it will be obtained 2.06, and after that the probability of completing the project in 25 weeks is equal to 0.5 plus or minus value of Z, which is equal to 2.06 from standard normal distribution table. So probability of completing the project in 25 weeks is equal to 0.5 plus 0.4803. So we will check the value of Z for 2.06 with the help of standard normal distribution table. So here this is the table showing the standard normal distribution. So the value which we have obtained is 2.06. So this is 2.0. So 2.06. So it is equal to 0.4803. So in this way, the value of this z, it is obtained with the help of this normal distribution table, standard normal distribution table. So therefore 0.5 plus 0.4803 is equal to 0.9803. So hence probability of completing project in 25 weeks is equal to 98.03%. At the last, we will calculate expected project completion time if the probability of completing the project is 0.84. Here the probability is given, and with that probability we have to calculate the expected project completion time. So already this we have calculated. Just for the reference, we have taken this expected project completion time, mean completion time. So probability of completing the project is equal to 0.5 plus or minus value of z from the standard normal distribution table. So it is given, probability already it is given 0.84 plus or minus, which is equal to 0.5 plus or minus value of z from the standard normal distribution table. Now value of z from the standard normal distribution table, it will be equal to 0.34. So how it is calculated? So 0.84 minus 0.5, which is equal to 0.34. We will calculate for the value of z 0.34, what will be the value of 0.34, what will be the value of z. Again for that we will follow, or we will use the table for the standard normal distribution. So here we will see, or we will identify where the value 0.34 is there. So this is 0.3389 and this is 0.3489. Exactly 0.3400 value is not there. So instead of taking that, we will consider 0.3413. Don't consider the value less than the given value. So the value which we have given is 0.34, or we have calculated is 0.34. So instead of considering the value 0.3389, we will consider the value greater than 0.34. So 0.3413 we will consider, and for that the value of z is 1. So here the value of z for the 0.34, it is equal to 1. So therefore this 1 equal to x minus 20 upon 2.43. This x we have to calculate. So that means expect project completion time for the probability 0.84, that is to be calculated. So after calculation of this, we will get the value of x, which is equal to 22.43. So hence the project will be completed in 22.43, which is approximately equal to 23 weeks. So friends, in this way, in this video we have seen project evaluation and review technique, how the three probabilistic time estimates are used, which are generally see in our day-to-day life, that is optimistic time, pessimistic time, and most likely time. And after that, how the probability of completing a project in the given time period, it is calculated. Thank you.